That's what's happening today. So you want to be righteous? Rule number one, the truth must be always above what's in it for me. This doesn't exist. I'm not a factoid. First, the truth. Doesn't matter who say that. I like him, I hate him, he's a Jew, he's not a Jew, he's a nice guy, he's a bad guy. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant. What you heard now, it's true or not? It's true. Act on it. That's it. No, but that, ask this guy there to tell me such a thing. What difference does it make? Who told you? You know you have to fix it? Yes. So does it make a difference if this person told you or that person? What difference does it make? You need to change. If someone that he likes told him, he's willing to consider. If someone he doesn't like, is not even open to listen. It blocked his mind. Sometimes you want to come to a secular person and prove to him the Torah is divine. If you have a long beard and a sombrero, no matter how much you talk, brilliant proof. From the minute you open your mouth, he blocked his heart and he blocked his mind. All he thinks about, God forbid that I would look like him. With such long beard and this kind of clothes and this tzitziot. And everywhere I'm gonna go, people will tell me, what happened? You ishtagata? Itcharfanta? Who died? Someone died? That's how they react. So right away, you see the first impression, they get very scared. Why? They brainwash their head non-stop. They're very nervous. Now I want to tell you something very interesting, and then we connect everything together. We know that the Gemara in Masechet Brachot, page 63, the Gemara speaks about the Chachamim that sat in a vineyard in Yavne. Yavne, the Sanhedrin, the Chachamim, used to be in Bet HaMikdash, in Lishkat HaGazit. Then they saw that there are too many cases of execution coming to the court. And they did not want to execute any Jew, as wicked as he was. So they said, how are we going to do something that will be legal according to the Torah and will make us not kill anyone? No execution in a court. Because we cannot do whatever we want. We have to follow Hashem's instructions. So they said and said and said, how are we going to dismiss the executions? Because anyway, in the end, Hashem gives everyone what they deserve. So why should we be the executor? Let Hashem deal with them. And they came up with a brilliant idea. What's the idea? We have to keep the words of the Torah precisely. Of course, make no mistake, we do not learn Torah literally from the verses. We're not Reform and we're not Stukim. The Torah is 1% written, 99% oral. We must have the written Torah, because based on the written Torah, we have all the oral laws. But without the oral laws, you do not understand one verse in the Torah. And you do not understand how to keep one of the 613 commandments. There's no explanation how to do it. There's no explanation how to do tefillin. You know what it means to do tefillin? You have a cow walking here now in the field. Let's call her Susie. Susie the cow. Rabbi Reuven and Rabbi Shimon looking at Susie. How many pairs of tefillin you think Susie would produce? Let's have a bet. I say 50 pairs. I go for 70. Top, Susie, yalla, shchita, the meat goes to Shulchan Shabbat, skins, remove the skin, get rid of the head, clean the inside, it's a big job. Everyone take his share. The butcher shop take what they take. Now you have skin with fur. You gotta get rid of the fur. What do you have to do? You have to put them in lime. Lime, it's a white powder that makes it dry. Because the skin, remember, is moisture. Because you just took it off the meat. Still full of moisture. So you put it in, and it absorbs in the skin and becomes dry. Then you have to come with brushes. Everything has to be handmade. Takes the brush and remove all the hair. Now you finally have pieces of leather. Now you send them to the tefillin place. I recommend you see a movie how long it takes to make tefillin. Logically, if the goyim would have to make tefillin, it would be $20,000 a pair. If they sell a lousy Gucci bag for $6,000, which takes them probably an hour to make it with their machines, tefillin that takes a year to make, how much would it be? $600,000. Think about it. If they have a machine that makes some lousy bag and put a name, Gucci on it, whatever, who's Gucci, I don't know who's Gucci. How much? $6,000. Imagine how much if they have to make the whole tefillin with hand. And if they would make my tefillin fully handmade without electric, probably it would be $1 million. Based on labor in America. So, it's a very long process. Now from this skin, they begin to make it the shape, and they have to define, wow, what a job. And sometimes you mess up. You gotta start all from the beginning. What a job, Rabotai. And then you have to make the parshiot, and then you have to make lines, and then you have to make the ink. It all has to be natural. And then they prepare the feather, and then it begins. Aleph. Mezuzah 713 letters. But it's very, very slow. See how slow it is. Little by little. Aleph. Vav. Please. Then flip it again. And like the old days. The cloth itself, it's $20 almost. Then to do tagim, few dollars. To check with computer, few dollars. It's expenses. If he rents a place, he has a lot of other expenses around. So it makes, before you even start riding, it could be sometimes $25, $30. Then you walk 3-4 hours to make one beautiful mezuzah. He has to make money, the sofer. And the broker that brings it from country to country, he wants to add. And then he comes to the store, and the store double the price. That's why you go to a store here and you pay $300 for good mezuzah. But if you come directly to the sofer, you pay a third of it. Why? Because you don't have the broker, you don't have the store. The store is entitled to make money. What did they open such a nice place for? They have to make money, they pay taxes, they have employees. In the end, just like everything else in life. The dealers sell the car and they add their fee and this fee and that tax and this one. It grows up. Finally, Rabotai, where do you have all these laws of tefillin in a written Torah? You have more than 1,000 steps, and not one of them it's written in a written Torah. And if one you did wrong from the 1,000, it's not kosher. One tiny mess up, and it's not kosher. Let's see inside. The tefillin of the head is divided to 4 sections. Between, what separates? You know, you have 4 different parchments. Parchments, how do you say? Parchments, you stick it inside, you roll it, you tie it with the ligament of the hair of the cow, and you stick it inside 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different parshiot from the Torah. But between, the separation is very skinny leather, very skinny, you know, like this darbuka, bram, even skinnier. They have to heat it to make it thin, and they have to sew it in such a way. If there is one tiny hole in one of them, it's still kosher. But if you're gonna have 2 holes, it's not kosher. It's microscopic. If you don't know who you buy from, there is no way narrow. Put light, you put magnified lights, you're not going to be able to tell. You have to know exactly who you buy, from the top professional or no. That's why in Tefillin, Hasidim pay $6,000-$7,000 a pair, to buy something good. Anyway, so if there are two tiny holes, everything else you did, superb, unbelievable, best leather, best quality, best sofer, best stripes, everything handmade, beautiful. One tiny hole of a needle make the whole tefillin like a piece of leather from your couch. Nothing. Asul. Not only that, if you make bracha, you have a sin that you say the name of God in vain. Of course, that's if you know. If you didn't know, it's not intentional sin, but it's still a sin. Not intentional, still a sin. So, Rabotai, the Chachamim found a very clever way not to execute wicked people, not to execute Mechalelei Shabbat, murderers if they had any. The Torah said, Me'et Mizbachi tikachenu lamut. Once you finish the trial in Lishkat HaGazit, in Bet HaMikdash, and he was found guilty, directly from Lishkat HaGazit, from Bet HaMikdash, you take him to the execution place. Why the Torah say directly from my altar, you take him to die? Because the Mizbeach of Bet HaMikdash, the big altar, was right next to Lishkat HaGazit. So because Hashem did not say, you take him from Sanhedrin to die, you take him from the altar to die, why did Hashem use this language? The proper language should have been, take him from the courtroom directly to the execution place. Why did Hashem change the language? Hashem is precise, everything has a reason. That now there is a way around it. You separate between the courtroom and the altar to be in two different places. And you can never fulfill this verse. The verse is, take him from the altar into the execution. But now we move from Jerusalem to Yavne, far away. And over here we'll judge. So from here, you cannot take him to die because there's no altar. So what's going to happen to all these criminals? Either we put them in jail, or we give them a fine, or we give them warning. But we won't kill anyone. Why? We don't want to start executing people. But they're going to go back on the street. That's Hashem's responsibility. If he wants to take a serial killer out of the street, he has any problem? The fact he didn't take him out yet, he has his reasons. It's not my problem. Maybe it is your problem. Maybe I expect you to clean the streets. The Torah says, "Uviar ta'ara mikirbecha." Clean the bed from among you. Clean the bed from among me when it's possible. When now there are too many wicked people, it's not realistic. If today we had Sanhedrin, how many people would have to be executed? 12 million people right away, within a week. Is it possible to do such thing? All the Mechalelei Shabbat, all the gays, all the people who goes with married women, all kinds of other terrible other things that people do. There's a list of things that the Torah gives death penalty. The court is going to sit all day and execute people? No. What are we going to do? Leave it to Hashem. So Rabotai, listen to this. So the Chachamim now sits in Yavne. Now you understand why they're in Yavne. In a nice vineyard. They sit over there, learn Torah, and judge cases. They praise the Torah, how wonderful the Torah is. And they say, let's give proofs why the Torah is the greatest thing on earth. Nothing better than that. There was a person named Oved Edom Agiti. Remember this name. Oved. One time there was a war between Israel and the Philistines. the nation of Israel decided we're going to the war against these cruel Philistines. The Philistines were the nation of Goliath, the giant. They say, we're now going to a war. We have a very good amulet. Kamea. What's the Kamea? The Aron Kodesh of Hashem. We take the Aron with us. One time, they did it, and they lost. They're holding the Aron of Hashem, and they lost. Why they lost? Because Hashem wanted to tell them, amulet is fine and it's important sometimes, but the actions are 1,000,000 times more important. And if you think you're going to act wicked and you're going to put some kind of an amulet in your pocket, or hold the Sefer Torah with you, or put tefillin in your head, and because of that you're going to win the war, you are dreaming. First, I check who you are. What do you do in hidden rooms? How do you speak? How do you conduct business? How you dress on the street, especially women. The Aron will not help you. Not only will not help you, the Philistines stole the Aron. Big tragedy. Philistines, these wicked Philistines, they took the Aron of Hashem. There was a young guy. His name was... No? What was his name? Shaul. From the tribe of Binyamin. Good, you're waking up. Shaul from the tribe of Binyamin. That's way before he was a king. He's a soldier, a warrior. He ran to Goliath, that holding the Aron, giant Goliath. Opened the Aron quickly. Goliath is huge. Until he moved, Shaul opened the Aron, stole what was inside the Aron? The commandments, the Luchot. Took the Luchot and ran away. So the Philistines now have an empty Aron. Empty Aron. You see Aron behind us? There are Sifrei Torah inside. What makes the Aron special? The doors. The Sifrei Torah. Once you take out the Torah, the Aron is not so significant anymore, right? God forbid, when they had sometimes fire, when they try to save this, the first thing they try to save is Sifrei Torah. There's other things in the synagogue. That's not so critical. Right now, first the Sifrei Torah. So, Shaul took the Luchot and ran.